Today on Sports Central, we're going over 5 reasons why the Clemson Tigers are going to beat Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl and why this team is going to advance on to yet another college football playoff championship to win yet another title. And this is a team that definitely has got a great possibility of doing that this season. They've got a great quarterback with Trevor Lawrence, who is just as good as anybody right now. And Clemson in general has got a lot of momentum heading into this matchup. We'll bring over 5 reasons why this team is going to beat Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl, and these reasons will be no particular order. That being said, we're going to start off with number 1, which is going to be Trevor Lawrence, quarterback for Clemson. He's projected to be the first overall draft pick in 2021, according to pretty much every media outlet that has put out a mock draft so far. And honestly, that's not much of a surprise at all. I mean, his stats pretty much explain themselves. He's put up 2,700 yards on the season, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and nearly a 70% completion rate. So he's been outstanding all season long. And honestly, the Tigers have been on fire since having him back at quarterback. If you remember back in November, I mean, Clemson had to put in their backup quarterback as the starting quarterback because Trevor Lawrence had tested positive for the virus. So Trevor Lawrence was out for a couple of weeks in through there. But ever since Trevor Lawrence has been back, I mean, this team has been absolutely on fire. I mean, they blew out Notre Dame in the ACC championship. They destroyed Pittsburgh, destroyed Virginia Tech as well. So this is a team that's got a ton of momentum coming into this matchup, just as much as anybody. And really, that's the big reason why Clemson would win this matchup. They got a great offensive line to work with as well, and that's going to be huge for Trevor Lawrence in this matchup. You got to make sure you got good protection going up against a great Ohio State defensive line. And he's arguably the best quarterback in the nation too. I mean, he's already playing like he's an NFL player, and that's certainly something that's going to be a huge positive as we head towards the future with him. Number 2 is going to be the momentum side for Clemson, just like we just talked about. Ever since Trevor Lawrence has been playing again, I mean, this team has been on a dominant winning streak. They've won 3 straight games. They did lose that Notre Dame game back on November 7th. That was in double overtime, 47-40. But ever since, I mean, the past 3 weeks, this team has been on fire. Like, once again, they destroyed Pittsburgh 52-17, destroyed Virginia Tech 45-10, and then they had that huge win over Notre Dame 34-10 in the ACC championship. So they definitely got the redemption on the Fighting Irish, which is huge for them. And I mean, they shut down Notre Dame easily in the ACC championship. Like, Notre Dame did not even stand a chance from the start. I mean, he was a little bit close to the start. I mean, we saw a close score, but Clemson, they just took off and had a huge win there against Notre Dame. Definitely the best win of the season up to this point for Clemson. And the momentum side for Clemson here is going to be huge coming into this matchup because, I mean, they're on fire right now. Once again, ever since Trevor Lawrence has been back from being out with COVID, this team has been on fire. Number 3 is going to be Amari Rodgers, top receiver for Clemson coming into this matchup. He's one of the top receivers in the ACC and arguably in the nation. I mean, if you look at him, he should be a pretty early round draft pick as we head towards 2021. And he's got a huge part with the success that Clemson has, and he's not easy to cover. He continues to improve over the season as well. And he's on par to hit at least 1,000 yards on the season of receiving, as he's currently at 966 yards on the year with 7 touchdowns, which is outstanding stats out of any receiver. And for Amari Rodgers being a player that's got Trevor Lawrence by his side, that's going to be huge going into this matchup. This duo is going to have to be very good as we head into a matchup with Ohio State, which Ohio State is just as good as anybody in the secondary. So for Amari Rodgers, he's going to have a big game if they're going to beat Ohio State. Number 4 is going to be the secondary side for Clemson, and the secondary includes several potential NFL players, no doubt about that. And Clemson is usually really good in the secondary and with the quarterback position. But I mean, if you look at how many average passers they've allowed per game, they're only at 198 right now, which is just as good as pretty much anybody. That's below the 200-yard benchmark, which is really outstanding. If you can keep that number below 200, that is really impressive, and let alone for Clemson being in a Power 5 conference. Yeah, those are some very impressive stats right there. And I mean, this team is going up against a great receiving core. I mean, a great secondary is going to be very important in this matchup because, I mean, if you look at Ohio State, they got Justin Fields, 2 great receivers with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. And for Clemson here, they're going to have to play very well in the secondary if they're going to make sure to shut down Ohio State, because this is a team that's going to pass quite a bit in this game, I think. And I mean, it just shows itself if you look at Ohio State's stats here. But I mean, they got 2 great receivers. This secondary on the Clemson side is going to have to play very well if they're going to get a win against Ohio State here. Lastly, number 5 is going to be Travis Etienne for Clemson here. He's one of the best running backs in the nation, no doubt with that. I mean, if you look at his stats, he's put up already 1,400 yards on the season and 15 touchdowns, which is very, very impressive. And for Clemson being a team that's only played 11 games this season, like, those stats are through 11 games. This is not a normal season. And Travis Etienne is already putting up what it looks to be 1,500 yards on the season. So he's got 15 touchdowns as well. He's had a major impact on this offense this season, and considering he's got a great offensive line to work with, he's working alongside Trevor Lawrence as well. I mean, he's playing the best that he ever has, in my opinion. And if you look at Travis Etienne this entire season, he's been a huge impact player for this Clemson side. He's definitely also one of the best running backs in the nation, too. So for Ohio State, they're going to have to try to stop Travis Etienne, which I'm sure is going to have a huge game here. And he's, once again, playing the best he ever has, continues to improve as well. Travis Etienne is definitely going to have a very bright future. Then again, there are some of my 5 reasons why Clemson is going to beat Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this game. And once again, I will tag the prediction video for this game here in this video. But then again, I appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. If you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it, subscribe as well as a up to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But once again, stay tuned for more. I'll see you later.